and parents and guys, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon once again. So Mr. Singh has said that data centers are the nerve centers of this. But if I look at it, I see data centers more as the heart of this e-government infrastructure. To my mind, data centers are the one which are going to play a very, very important role when it comes to delivery of citizen services, when it comes to rollout of any e-governance applications. A well-planned, well-thought-out data center can really take application to a very high level, and it can also bring impact on the other side. Supposing if you put, let's say, an income tax application online, and if it does not work, it does not get performance the day people have to file their income tax, the whole initiative of years and years just goes down. So, and that's something is planning. Unless you plan for these things, and unlike corporate applications, in a government whatever is seen, these peaks come quite random, and these peaks are quite frequent. So you really need to prepare for this. So data centers really need a lot of planning and all. In a very layman's form, if you didn't look at data centers, what are data centers? I look at data centers from basically, if you cut across the entire data center studies, it's basically 4 layers. At the base of which you have physical infrastructure, that means you have a site, you will have power, you will have cooling, you will have fire suppression systems, that's what. You have to have an active site which has all those things available to it. So, whatever experience we have, the only thing I suggest you that when you are planning for this phase of your data center, don't become noisy. Be a true visionary. If you think that today you need, let's say, 100 kilowatts, plan for 250 kilowatts. But it does not mean that you put 250 kilowatts that particular day. So plan really big, but you can always do implementation. If you have technology where you can always put this implementation in place, because technology obsolescence cycle is very fast. So therefore, to optimize the investment, but the planning in terms of your flow strength, in terms of capacity of what kind of heat density you will be able to take here, what kind of cooling technology, all that has to be really planned on. Like I tell you, when we begin the first data center, we had never thought that very soon we will have data centers. So we begin with 3 kilowatts, and in the end of 3 to 4 years, we have 10, 20, 12 kilowatts, so that's coming. And the cooling technology was just becoming a challenge at that point of time. So that phase, that particular phase planning has to be really very, very good. Really have to really do a very good plan. That becomes your phase physical thing. Because once you have planned and put things in place, it does not really, and if your contracts of maintenance and all are good, generally it just works well. It's not that you really feel, if it's been worked out with the redundancy and all, it works. Then you have second layer, which is an ICT infrastructure. ICT infrastructure again has 2 parts. One is a core infrastructure where you have storage, you have core network switches, or you have backup systems. That is something, again, this is a core and which is going to cater to the entire data center. So this core also should be planned with a lot of redundancy. This is where you should try and get as much redundancy as well. At least you should plan that. Because if your service system goes down even for, let's say, 10 minutes, it brings the whole services down. That's something which you just can't do. You need to put state-of-art infrastructure, you need to put highly reliable systems, you need to put a lot of redundancy. Then you have these servers and all this infrastructure. That is where you can always plan. There is no need of putting a whole lot of servers in the beginning. You can always plan phase-wise. You can, depending on different users with different budgets, can put no redundant to fully redundant. That also is not that every application going in data center has to be fully redundant, has to be on cluster servers and all. It depends what is the requirement. In that place, you should do investment carefully. Basically, depending on what is the downtime you can afford. Is your service practically going to be a 9 to 5 service? So there is no need of investing so many things onto it. Because please remember this whatever infrastructure you put in servers, every 5 to 6 years you have to again recycle. So at what stage this service is, accordingly you can manage it. Now going further, then you have applications of it. And as far as management also, what I am saying is these 4 layers need 4 different segments of people managing it. There are different skill sets, and you need to have a different strategy managing it each day. While there are some things which could be outsourced, while there are some things which could not. Like supposing ICT infrastructure. Basic operations and all, administration you can always do. But you definitely need someone in the government to strategically control it. In case of any eventuality, because of security, because of other regulations, you should have a provision. That means every government department, either through an IC or any ICT agency, should have a team who should be able to have a strategic control, who should understand what's going on how. They may not be there in the day-to-day operations, but understanding the whole system and keeping tab on the whole system that to be able to take over at any point is something which is necessary. Then going forward, you have applications. Now, applications you cannot have a single load because data center will have different applications. Suppose in state data center, Mr. HPC will say, you will have income taxes application coming, you will have treasury application coming, you have land records coming, you have some other applications. So these applications are domain specific applications. So there you will have different owners, different set of people who will be doing these applications. There my only suggestion to you that when you are looking at application, do not launch application if just is meeting functional. Very often what we see, if application is meeting functional requirement, we just launch it. Thinking, and in the beginning application will work fine because you will have very little load onto it. But these applications, if not developed properly, we have seen, once the load picks up, see when the load picks up and public is accessing, that is your time to leverage on your initiative. But very often I have seen, I mean, very sad people lose their leverage. Why? Because your application was not properly written and when the load builds up on that, it simply crashes. And tell me, I mean, we see as infrastructure, as ICT people or data center people, we will be able to give you a few more servers. But believe me, simply by giving servers to you also, we cannot really extend its functionality beyond a certain distance. Because unless your application is written with all those things in mind. So what I'm saying is that besides functional testing, it is very important to do a performance testing of your application. Even if today you have less load, but you should be able to test your application, you should be able to stand a load of whatever is estimated in the, let's say, next 2 years or so. Because application is something you want to write again and again. And badly written application later on patch is very, very difficult. It's more than the effort what you have done. Because very often the team developing will swipe because attrition is so high normally barring this particular period we have in the list. Normally do not even have same set of people. So it's very important that application people also have to see simply by putting in a high state of our data center does not mean that it will always run there. It can take care of security, it can take care of backups, it can take care of data retentions, but it cannot take care of performance unless your applications are there. So that is something you have to be very, very sensitive about. Otherwise, you will really feel bad the day everybody wants to access your application and you have to cut a solid. That's another aspect of management. The fourth aspect is the services aspect of the data center, which is as basic as running a 24/7 help desk. Today, if you run a data center, if you don't run a help desk 24/7, is something which is not expected. It's not really thought for. Then you have services, then you have data centers, whole sort of services. One is ICT-based services where you have, which is central to the entire data center. Right? You have help desk services, you have services such as ICT operations, backup services, DR server, and so to say, replication services and things like that. Then you may also have application-specific services. Then supposing you are delivering a particular citizen service from that data center. So you also need to have 24/7 support on that respective to that visitor, on which you will need a different set of people, or at least those people have to be trained to be able to take account to queries of that sort. Then, and in this whole process, while you are building a data center, it is important to see that you build a state-of-the-art data center. But what is more important and pertinent is that you see what is the total cost of owning the O&M phase of that data center runs. What is my yearly cost of running this data center? Whether it is energy, we have been talking a lot of energy efficiency in the data center, a whole lot of metrics have come. Whether it is energy, because energy efficiency has to be seen because that's something is your recurring cost. Second thing, your operations cost. How much manpower you need to put to run the service 24/7. So can you augment it with some kind of management tools? Whether they are bought from the market or they are ingrown tools, or you can have a combination of these. So can you bring in efficiency with those things? So that's another thing which you need to plan because that makes you a lot of saving and that gives you a much better, enables you to give much better quality of service. So these are the only two thoughts which I like to give. Another thing is disaster recovery, which I think some of our colleagues will surely cover. And these are aspects which we need to really look into it whenever we do it. Thank you.